Alright, what's going on YouTube? Alright, so I am back with my top 10 centers list of the 2010s. I was supposed to do this a few days ago, but long story short, my journal got soaked and wet from the rain. So my whole list of centers and power forwards, all the stats and accolades that I put on that journal has all been soaked and wet, and I could barely read what the fuck it says now. So I had to redo all of my top 10 centers list all over again, including the power forward list that's coming up very soon after this, the small forward, shooting guard, point guard, all that stuff, along with the accolades. But no, I haven't forgotten it. I know some people have messaged me on saying if I have forgotten it. No, I haven't. My journal has just been soaked and wet from the rain, so I just had to redo all this stuff. So right now number 10, I had Pau Gasol. Number 9, I had Nikola Jokic. And at number 8, I have it as I don't know if this counts as cheating, but I'm going to put this at a tie. So surprisingly, and I had to check at Dom2K's list just to make sure if he had this guy on his list, but he didn't. So at number 8, I have it at a tie with both Brook Lopez and DeAndre Jordan. So I'm going to go with Brook Lopez first because he was my initial number 8 spot. So I think everybody is well aware that Brook Lopez is one of those centers that have rejuvenated his career and really elevated his career during the 2010s decade. From him bouncing to the Lakers, and now he's a really good asset to the Milwaukee Bucks as far as their starting lineup and as far as their core goes. So Brook Lopez, even though he doesn't have all the accolades, I put him at number 8 just because of the statistics that he has, and as far as the longevity that he has, as far as being the starting lineup for a contending team. Whereas DeAndre Jordan, on the other hand, was in the 2010s, he was still a prominent role during the Clippers era, but as further as the 2010s go, he started to have a bench role. I believe he got traded to, I think after the Clippers, he got traded to the Knicks. I think it was the Knicks, the Mavericks, and then at the end of 2019, or at least at the end of the 2010s decade, it was the Brooklyn Nets. Somebody correct me on that. But during that era, he didn't really, he started to fade a little bit as he started going from the starting five position to now a bench role. So I'm going to go with Brook Lopez first, and then I'm going to talk about DeAndre Jordan. So I already talked about how much he has elevated his game as far as shooting 3-pointers, and as far as spreading out to the paint. I think he started doing that, I want to say when he was on the Lakers, he started doing that. I think that was when he started. It was either the Lakers or in the early stages of his Brooklyn Nets tenure, where he really started to spread the floor a little bit, and he started to shoot threes as when I believe 2016, 16, maybe 2017, he started to shoot threes. So throughout the 2010s decade, Brook Lopez has averaged around 18 points a game, 6 total rebounds, which is surprisingly low for a center. He has shot around 52% efficiency as far as field goal wise, and 35% from the 3-point line. Now, like I said, I only have him at number 8 just because of how should I put it? I put him as number 8 as far as how he's been relevant, as far as him, keeping up with centers today, as far as his defense goes, and as far as his offense goes as well, and as far as he just operates. He operates so well with as far as when he was on the Bucks, with him spreading the floor a little bit, and him just being the help defense that he is, and the defensive anchor that he is to help Giannis not win the championship at that time, because remember 2019 they only went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but he was really prominent on helping the Bucks go into the Eastern Conference Finals, helping Giannis with defense and all that. So as far as accolades go, it's really not much. He's only been a one-time All-Star in 2013, and I didn't know this until I wrote this down the second time. I had to look it up. But he is, as far as the Brooklyn Nets go, he is the all-time leader in points for the Brooklyn Nets with 10,444 points, only second behind Buck Williams, which is 10,440 points. So I guess you can say in a way he has he doesn't have any All-NBAs, at least during the 2010s decade, and we all know he hasn't won a ring yet. He hasn't won a ring in this decade. So I only have him tied with DeAndre Jordan just because of the stats and the longevity he has alone. Now, I'm going to get on to DeAndre Jordan. So as far as DeAndre Jordan goes, I'm going to just say this. His stats really aren't really that, I would say, surprising, but I do only have him on here because of how dominant and how dominant he was during that Lob City era. Being the third guy behind Blake Griffin and of course Chris Paul. He was part of that highlight reel, the highlight factory of all the lobs that Chris Paul and somewhat of Jamal Crawford that has been throwing up all the lobs when Chris Paul was gone. I believe after 2017, I believe. Yeah, 2017 was when he left. So yeah, it's not really that much, 10 points a game. He's averaged around 12 rebounds, over 67% efficiency field goal wise. The only reason why I do have him on this list was because of the accolades alone, which was very surprising when I wrote it down. He's only been a one-time All-Star in 2017, a 3-time All-NBA, including first team in 2016 and a third team in 2015 and 2017. He's also been a 2-time rebounding champion in both 2014 and 15, which really goes to show how much rebounds he had, the 12 rebounds he had during that 2010s decade. And he's also been a 2-time all-defensive team in 2015 and 2016. So it's really not really much to say about DeAndre Jordan. He has been relevant during the early 2010s decade, so I do have to give him that. And, the fact that he has been so popular with all the highlights of the Clippers era during those Lob City days, even though he didn't have much, as far as who has the more post-season success, that's going to be a tough one. I want to say Brook Lopez, just based off of him going to that Eastern Conference Finals. I believe DeAndre Jordan has made it to the playoffs more than Brook Lopez, but I do want to give Brook Lopez just a little bit of the edge over Jordan as far as postseason success because of that 2019 run. But nonetheless, I have them both tied at number 8. I don't know. You guys tell me who you guys would have more at number 8, whether it's Brook Lopez or DeAndre Jordan. I believe both of them deserve a spot at the top 10, but I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I have one player at number 8 and another player that's off this list. Because as far as whoever's top 7, now the top 7 really, I can't put them at 7 or higher because these next players that I'm going to put up are miles better than these two. So I feel like, it would be safe to put them at number 8, and I really don't want to do this as far as putting them tying other players at a certain spot, but this is hopefully going to be the one time I'm going to put these two tied on this list. But you guys tell me what you guys think, man. So number 8 is tied with Brook Lopez and DeAndre Jordan.